Against means put it in parentheses. So put country ID in parentheses, parentheses, parentheses. No duplicate data against country column ID. Put country ID in parentheses, country ID in parentheses, country ID in parentheses, and it can't have copies, and it can't have copies, and it can't have copies. Will be allowed at the time of insertion. Allowed at the time of insertion, allowed at the time of insertion, allowed at the time of insertion. So like automatically, this is just like extra certification. This whole will be allowed at the time of insertion is basically a long-winded way of saying just make sure you do the first part. So all this, alright, this is just saying make sure you do all this. Make sure you do all this. Make sure you do all this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do this. Sometimes this might be flipped around and it might say at the time of insertion make sure no duplicate data of the country. At the time of insertion make sure no duplicate data. At the time of insertion make sure duplicate data. Basically when you see these two things you automatically just think unique country ID. They might just say it twice just to like certify it. At this time this might seem like a whole big words that might seem borderline gibberish for science. But when you get used to it, this is just going to be like, you're automatically going to be like, alright, when I see this, alright, this is going to mean I'm going to put unique and country ID, alright. And this whole sentence just means they want to make sure that I'm going to do it. And this whole sentence means they want me to make sure I'm going to do it. This whole sentence means they want to make sure I'm going to do it. And like, yeah, eventually you're going to be thinking like that. So like, yeah, just recognize all these words and keep practicing and eventually you'll like get all this. So yeah. Yeah, I already explained this. And unique ID. Okay. Yeah, create tables, blah, 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 blah. We're going to create this line, this line, this line, this line. All these joints can't be empty. And we want the country ID to be unique. It has to be like one of a kind, one of a kind, one of a kind. And we can't have no type of copies, no type of copies, no type of copies. And that's this whole statement. That's basically what it's saying. And yeah, just keep rewatching it if you don't get it or something. Alright, write a SQL statement to create a table named jobs, including jobs ID, job title, minimum salary, max salary, and make sure that the default value for job title is blank and minimum salary is 8,000 and max salary is null. Will be entered automatically at the time of insertion if no value assigned for the specific columns. Okay. Alright, so I didn't even start this. So I think I'm going to do it in like the format of I'm going to do it like I did before. I'm going to solve the problem, then afterwards I'm going to give you all vocabulary. So you're going to understand, like, you're going to physically be able to kill and fight to survive, kill and fight to survive, kill and fight to survive. And then all the extra details that, like, we're going to learn how to, like, cook and, like, make a whole bunch of food so we can thrive. Cook and make a whole bunch of food so we can thrive. Cook and make a whole bunch of food so we can thrive. We're going to get, like, good vegetables and fruits, good vegetables and fruits, good vegetables and groups, organic and all that shit. Alright, so create table if not exist jobs, parentheses, jobs ID, varchar, parentheses 10, not null, unique, comma, space, job title, varchar, parentheses 35, not null, default, apostrophe, comma, space, minimum, underscore salary, decimal, parentheses 6, comma, space, 0, default 8,000, comma, space, max salary, decimal, parentheses 6, comma, 0, default, null, parentheses, semicolon. Alright. Create table of non-exist jobs. Update jobs, update jobs, update jobs. Parentheses, the whole thing, semicolon, end it all, end it all, end it all. Job ID is the title. The character limit is going to be 10. This can't be empty and it's going to be unique. So everything in unique, one of a kind, one of a kind, one of a kind, and you have to fill it out, have to fill it out, have to fill it out. The only difference to all this other stuff here is that this is going to be one of a kind. The only difference to all this is going to be one of a kind. The only difference one of a kind. So job ID is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Every single job ID, there's only 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. There can't be 5 1s, 5 6s, 5 1s. Everything has to be unique and all that. Alright, job title varchar 35. It's going to be called titles. It's going to be called job title. Character limit's going to be 35. It can't be empty. And default. Default apostrophe. So apostrophe stands for blank. Apostrophe stands for blank. Apostrophe stands for blank. So normally, like this specific highlighted area, only the highlighted area will be LXZ0.